Hello all, I'm Sai and you're watching The Book Dragon. In today's video, I'm bringing to you my answers for the questions in the anti-TBR book tag. This book tag totally has 8 questions and the link to the original video and all the 8 questions will be down in the description. So do go and check out the original video and also leave your answers in the comments below because I'd like to know them. Without any further ado, let's get into the video. Question number 1. A popular book everyone loves that you have no interest in reading. I know that this is a popular book, but I'm not sure if it is loved by everyone or not because I'm not part of the fandom, and I'm talking about Midnight Sun by Stephenie Meyer. This is like the retelling of Twilight from a different point of view. Specifically, I have not read Twilight first. I have not read any of the books. I have not watched any of the movies, but I've heard only more negative things about the series rather than positive things. And it is also one of those series which had a huge influence over the young adult category as a whole. And I'm very much thankful for that because only after the advent of Twilight, more and more young adult books got to get published, and it also had like a very big influence in the fantasy genre as well. But I don't think that I'm interested in reading Midnight Sun because I have not read Twilight, and this is also a huge book. I think it's over 700 or 800 pages long. I have not heard that great things as well, so this is one of those books which I'm not at all interested in reading. Question number 2. A classic book or author you don't have an interest in reading. The answer for this one is The Count of Monte Cristo by the author whose name I don't know. Okay, usually I struggle with reading classics a lot because the language is not simple, especially when it comes to classics. Difficult language is not a problem for me, but the language must be like very smooth for me to read, and if I don't get that flow while reading, I'm definitely not going to read those books, and that's one of the main reasons why I don't pick up classics. And even the classics that I am picking up right now, I've not picked up a classic in a very long time now, but if I do pick up classics, they are like very short in size or the length of a normal book, like 300 or 400 pages, but this one is nearly 800 or 900 pages long, which I'm not sure it's this huge. I've seen it in various booktube videos. One of my most favorite booktubers, Murphy Napier, this is one of her favorite books of all time, but I'm not at all interested in it because it's also a book which is really tough to explain because the plot keeps on changing and it's a mess throughout. Okay, I do like reading messed up stories, but when it comes to classics, the language is something which I don't connect with a lot, and it's not easy for me to read. And also the time period during which the classics are written, it's a bit not that much connecting for me, so I don't have interest in reading The Count of Monte Cristo. Question number 3. An author whose books you have no interest in reading, or a problematic author whose books you have no interest in reading. I'd say this is a problematic author rather than the author's books, and I'm flipping to non-fiction as a category rather than the fiction books, and I'm talking about Mark Manson. Okay, I read The Subtle Art of Not Giving a F in July this year, and it just messed up my reading life a lot and also my personal life a lot because it was such a vague book. I didn't get anything out of it. The one thing which I can say about The Subtle Art of Not Giving a F is that I don't give a F what this book says. And also the second book that was released as a companion for this one, Everything is F'd, also by the same author. Okay, I thought that I will read the first book, The Subtle Art, and then I'd give a try for the next book. Many people say that the second book is far better than the first book, but I didn't like the first one itself, and most of the people who say that the second book is better are those who liked the first one, and it's something which didn't mesh with me in any way. The language was so foul, if you ask me. I don't like reading such books, especially when it comes to non-fiction, because I go for books that are positive in every way. It didn't feel positive. The language itself didn't feel positive for me. Subjective. Okay, it's totally subjective in every way. I'm not saying that it's a bad book, but I think that it's not at all a good book for me. Question number 4. An author you have read a couple of books from and have decided their books are not for you. I don't think I have an answer for this one because most of the times I do a lot of research before getting into books, and it's just a repeat answer. If I definitely have the answer is Mark Manson because I read that book and I didn't like it, and I don't think that I'd ever pick up another book by him because it didn't resonate with me in any way. It wasn't useful for me in any way. Okay, it just felt like a waste of time for me. So if I definitely have to answer, I'd say Mark Manson. But if it's okay, I don't think that any author deserves to be like that because not every person writes the same kind of book always. They do change. I might pick up some books by the same author sometime in the future, but as of now, in this part of my life, I'm never ever going to pick up books by Mark Manson again. Let's just wait and see. Question number 5. A genre you have no interest in reading, or a genre you tried to get into and couldn't? The answer for this one is also very easy for me. It is dystopian. Okay, the only dystopian that I've ever read is The Hunger Games, and you know the reason, because I didn't like the climax of that trilogy because it just sucked hard. And ever since reading Mockingjay, I have not even thought of reading another dystopian. And also, this year proved to be one of the right years for not reading dystopian, because it's just a genre in which always bad things happen to the main characters or anyone. Okay, the world is always on fire, it's not all good, and the world is literally facing a lot of negative things right now, and I don't think reading dystopian is the best way to divert myself when it comes to reading. And I'm not interested in reading dystopian as well because of the Hunger Games, because of the things that the Hunger Games tell. If you guys do have some good light dystopian reads, please do let me know down in the comments below, because I'd like to give that genre another try, but I'm not sure where I have to pick, because I don't know who to trust when it comes to reading dystopian books. If you do know some light-hearted dystopian, please do let me know down in the comments. Question number 6. A book you bought but will never read. This is also a very easy answer for me. It is this pink book that you can see here. It's called The Piano Man Project. It was an impulse buy, okay, while I bought it from a book sale. I'm sure that I'm not going to read that book because I don't even know what it is about. I think it's an erotic romance, but I don't know anything else about that book. Okay, the only reason that I'm having it in my bookshelf is that while I arrange my books back in rainbows, that is organized by color, the spine will look really good. Okay, that's the only reason that I'm having that book, and I also don't think that I'd ever read that because I don't know what it is about first, and I'm also not that much interested in reading erotic romances, okay, because I like slow burns. When it comes to romance, it just needs to be, stressed a lot, and there must be moments rather than just things happening all of a sudden, and I'm not that much interested in reading such kind of romances, and that's one of the reasons why I'm having that book, because the spine looks beautiful, and I don't think that I'd ever read it in the future. Question number 7. A series you have no interest in reading, or a series you started and have DNF'd? This is one series called the Asylum series. I'm not sure. It has 4 books on as a total. I read this first book alone called Asylum. It was featured in my first reading blog, okay, and I thought that I liked the book while I was doing the blog, but by the end I just ended up rating it 3 stars. I think now it doesn't even deserve the 3 stars because nothing much happened in that book, okay. It was a lot more boring. It felt like a contemporary rather than a horror story, and it didn't feel good. Even in the vlog I said that this book has like 3 other sequels, okay, so it's a quartet, and all of them were available in Storytel at that time. I'm not sure if they're available now. I didn't like the first book, and I'm sure that I'll not be finishing the series. I've DNF'd it, and yeah, I'm not interested in reading that. I do like horror stories, but this one didn't feel like a horror in a grand scale for me. It just felt like a very normal contemporary story with just a little bits and pieces of horror here and there, which also didn't make that much sense if you ask me. So this is a series which I have DNF'd. Finally, question number 8. A new release you have no interest in reading. This is also a repeat answer from the first question. It is Midnight Sun by Stephenie Meyer. The main reason that I don't want to read this book is that I have not read Twilight. I've heard only bad things about Twilight more than good things, and that's one of the main reasons I'm not interested in this one. And another book is something which has not yet been released, but it is also one of the most anticipated releases for 2021. It is the next book in the A Court of Thorns and Roses series. I think it's called A Court of Silver Flames. Okay, the first 4 book covers, they were like really beautiful. Okay, I think they depicted the scene, the mood and tone of the book in a really good way, but this one, it just doesn't feel like a cover from that series. The first 4 covers, they are just so gorgeous. I'll try to drop them down here, okay, but this is the 5th cover. It doesn't look as good, and also I didn't continue on with the series after A Court of Mist and Fury, okay. The first book, A Court of Thorns and Roses, was okay for me. I can't say that I loved it or I hated it. It was a book, it was nice, that's it. But the second book, A Court of Mist and Fury, it was awesome, okay. It's like one of the best romances that I've read. It is hot and steamy in a lot of ways, okay, and the character development is also really good in that one. The plot is good, the magic is really well explained, okay. The romance is the main aspect for this series, and it was like, it was nailed in the second book. Okay, it felt like typical Sarah J. Maas, and she just did it in the perfect way, if you ask me. I like that book. I've not continued on with the series ever since. It's been over a year since I read A Court of Mist and Fury, and I've not continued with the series, and I don't think that I have interest in reading this one as well. Okay, that's all for today, and don't forget to leave your answers in the comments below because I'd like to know them as usual. And if you did enjoy watching this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and also share it to your friends. If you want to get more content from me, do subscribe to the channel because I publish new videos every Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday. Thanks for watching and have a great rest of your day.